Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Grade A Power Plays here on the Grade A Fantasy channel, and I'm your boy, Grade A Fantasy. Now, as of last night, it was a rough beginning, and then it was a great ending. We just got a couple of pairs hitting from the early games that we picked. Once again, I didn't touch Jersey at the raw. Like I said, there's times I've gotten Jersey right, but I'm looking for the big, 2-assist parlays and 2-point this, 2-point that. Some of it hit, but I always missed the profitable 2 points by Luke Hughes, and I missed it last night. But last night, Calgary game down 3-1, fighting for their playoff lives. 2 power play goals, so the entire power play unit hit, as you can see, Kadri, Huberdeau, Weegar, Frost, plus 400, plus 330s, plus almost 500. There goes Coronado, 400, Weegar, plus 330. And then, of course, once again, the Backlund Coronado line connecting again. Each combination of that line is plus 230 and higher. So that was a nice profit. Kadri, Huberdeau hit for plus 127. And because of their late comeback, I thought, it would be more of an onslaught. The only 2-point that I got was Boldy, and then I actually got Boldy and Eriksson Ek for a point each. After that, it was just pretty much a rough night. And I also got Austin Matthews for 2 points. But let's focus on today. Today is an interesting day. Now, as you can see by the cover sheet, we're going back to focus on Montreal. Montreal, hopefully you see this video as soon as it's, because some of the odds are starting to drop. Before, they were closer when it comes to the lines. Now Montreal has definitely jumped significantly. This was basically both a pick'em, and then when some of the news dropped, it was Carolina like plus 105. Montreal was still like a minus 110, minus 115, and now it's basically minus 132 while I'm recording this episode. So possibly by the time I post this, Montreal could be minus 150, and Carolina could be plus maybe 120, plus 115. And why is that? Is because teams like we're focused on basically 3 games. First and foremost, Carolina, Montreal, because this is literally the last playoff spot left. Carolina's sitting started, basically. Carolina's sitting there started, so sorry, Columbus, but you're definitely not going to get in. Montreal's not going to let this go by. Montreal obviously playing everybody. The Carolina Hurricanes are sitting Jalen Chatfield, Jordan Stahl, Sebastian Aho, Seth Jarvis, Jordan Martinook, Jacob Slavin, and Jackson Blake. So, yeah, it's just a lot. Like, even I think they've been shaky a bit defensively. Like, the penalty kill, the defense, the scoring, all goes down the drain, pretty much. Like, literally, their top line as of right now is Jesper Kotkaniemi, Taylor Hall to the right, Svechnikov to the left. And then after that, it's just barely anything. You got Mark Jankowski, Jack Rosovic, Eric Robinson on line 2. Stankoven is the main guy on line 1. Skylar Brindamore, the coach of Rod Brindamore, will be centering the 3rd line. And then that's pretty much how you have it. So, as you see here, if out of all the games, this is the game here that I feel that you can onslaught and look for some things. The only thing I took Carolina, because yes, this is still Montreal, is Shane Gostisbehere plus 200. Maybe you'll like to take him for an assist, maybe even a point. Taylor Hall plus 400 on the power play. It's still Montreal. They still top 6 in penalty minutes, maybe top 7 if I'm not mistaken. But after that, I'm looking at the entire power play unit for Montreal, and then I'm looking at point combo lines and 2-point combo lines. Suzuki 2-point sloth is plus 808, plus 1162 for Cole and Slavkovsky to both score 2 points. Slavkovsky by himself is plus 540. Suzuki Caulfield plus 520. If they get 2 points, Caulfield by himself is plus 340. And then, of course, Lane Hudson for 2 points, 400. I got Line 4 point. He's also viable for 2 points. Lane Hudson, I got him for 2 assists. I hit that before. Lane Hudson for 1 assist. Like I'm literally all over this game. Still waiting for some other combinations, but I basically got all my bets in here. And then there's the 1 point for the 1 line. And then I got Brendan Gallagher, who's been scoring lately. I got him for a point. And him for a point is plus 142. I wanted to grab these just in case some of these decent odds, like for instance, now that they're becoming more of a favorite, maybe Gallagher's plus 142 drops to like 132 or maybe plus 125. So hopefully when you see this video, I'm trying to upload this as quick as possible, you'll see what I'm going for, and you hopefully grab some of these out before it changes. Because when it comes to the money line, this morning it was like -108 for one team, -115 for the other. So Carolina has nothing to play for. So they're locked into their position for a while now. So why not rest up and get ready for their series against the Devils? Speaking of that, the next game that we're looking into, Detroit at the Devils. Now, the news here, the reason why I'm going to show you this, we got Larkin, Raymond, Casper, Kane. You know that Detroit too. I'm following Casper to the end of the season. Casper by himself, once again, plus 134. I guess they'll let that rock out until Detroit season is over. Casper, the Brinkcat, plus 200. Fine. Now, here's the thing. For Jersey's the same thing. They might as well, their season ends today. So you can basically get 3 days of rest, especially if it's like a Saturday night game. It might feel like 4 days of rest if they're the set of four that plays on Sunday. The playoffs start this weekend. So if you play your starters get Thursday. If you play tonight, your starters basically get Thursday, Friday, and then when it's time for your playoff game, whatever the case is. If you sit certain people though, they get a nice 3 days rest, and then you're fully kind of refreshed and charged, healing up some injuries. Now, on top of that, the only thing now, there are projections, nothing's confirmed yet. Carolina and Montreal were like one of the first confirmed lineups of the day. So we're possibly looking at the Devils possibly sitting Andre Palat. They're possibly sitting Nico Hischier with a couple other players. Now, Dougie Hamilton, who hasn't played in a while, they might have him and might skate him limited just so he can get a good skate in before the playoffs. There has been talks for a couple of days because he's been at practice now. They might let him play against Detroit. We'll see if that's so. But if not, if the Jersey Devils decide to start sitting people, I think Detroit, especially that second line, being on the road, the defense is already bad enough. So if you're going to send out what's possibly the Dawson, Mercer, Stefan Noesen, Eric Haller line against Larkin, then it's Cody Glass, Sprong, and Tomas Tatar, or the third line of Justin Dowling, Hardman, and Mark McLaughlin, which is projected, then yeah, I definitely like Detroit props for 2. But if that's the case, without a doubt, my favorite line, I won't do it without Larkin could get it also on the power play because defense has not been that good. Plus it's just the other night that, it was just yesterday. Boston went off and Boston had 2 power plays against them. So when it comes to 2 points, don't worry about that. News is not official yet. They haven't moved them. But from what I've been seeing and what I've been hearing, Timo's not playing, Nico Hischier's not playing, Jesper Bratt's not playing, and anybody else here, it looks like Dawson Mercer, Stefan Noesen, and Luke Hughes will be playing way more minutes already as it is. There's actually a possibility that Luke Hughes doesn't play because people that was at morning skate that might be moved up besides regulars like Dylan Dumoulin and Denis Cholowski. Simon Nemeth is also a guy that's been there. They might be calling up one of their AHL guys, Seamus Casey, to take Luke Hughes' spot. If this is so, Detroit's viable also for 2-point props. So you're going to have to keep that. I tried to wait for as long as I possibly can before I go on with my day to see what I can give you guys. But it looks like there's viable 2-point plays today. And also one more game that I'm interested in that has good odds on both ends and has a team that doesn't have to play for nothing. You just have to wait maybe a little bit more to see if you want to attack. Just like how we could attack New Jersey, we can attack a weak Dallas team whose defense has been slumping again. The only thing Dallas has done is confirm that Jake Ottinger will play. He will be in net. UC Soros. So both top goalies will be at net. All of that tells me there's a possibility that there's going to be possible ruckus with these two. Now, Nashville has had their morning skate. So definitely like Evangelista Bunting. Once again, these lines are profitable. You don't really have to chase 2 points. All I did was a couple couple of line pairing right here. We could also do for this last game is Stamkos, Forsberg, and Marchessault on the top line. That line is also fully correlated. Dallas has now 8 power play goals given up in this 6-game losing streak. Now because they lost the other night. Remember, we attacked Dallas with Detroit. So with that, you already saw the combinations I did with line 2 of O'Reilly, Bunting, and Evangelista. Plus, we took Evangelista and Bunting singles. Oh, wait, this is shots on goal. As we see for the points, I'll just show. We could take a look at what we have here, just in case you forgot. Singularly, Bunting is plus 128. Luke Evangelista is plus 142. When you combine it with Riley, who's basically even money, once again, that's another number 2 line that is very profitable. Philip Forsberg, if we want to do that, Philip Forsberg, you got Stamkos playing center, that's plus 136. You take Forsberg out, leave Stamkos, who's right under almost even money, Jonathan Marchessault, plus 169. And then Marchessault, Forsberg, since they're fully correlated, plus 138. So the Nashville side, very profitable. If we want to go on the Dallas side, their props are not too expensive. The lines aren't confirmed yet. Now, obviously, we'll probably have to wait to see if we hear news on what the confirmed lines are. Dallas is on the road. Beat writers don't really follow their teams on the road like that. They don't have much to play for. Once again, if you rest your team up today, while other teams still got to play tomorrow with a shorter break, then more than likely these are teams that want a nice 2-day rest. If you give your players a rest, they get 3 days of rest. Dallas didn't play yesterday, so you're probably looking at 4 days of rest before the playoffs start Saturday. But like I said, some of these prices aren't too horrible. Like I said, yes, Rantanen always above 200. So him and Robinson are not even going to be plus money. They're minus 111. But if you go Jason Robinson and Hintz on his side, that's plus 108. If you move down to the second line, which it is projected right now, that's not what it's going to be. I think this is another lineup that's going to scratch a few people. Plus, if anything, the way the lines were set up, Wyatt Johnston ended up playing with Mikko Rantanen towards the end of the game. That was plus 119 if that happens. Once again, probably most profitable, Jamie Benz on the third line with Wyatt Johnston and Rantanen. So if you want to combine that with Wyatt Johnson center, Jamie Benn, pardon me for that. Where's Mr. Jamie Benn? Is he here? No, we got Brady Shane. We got way more Nashville people than anything, but that's not bad. And then, of course, with Duchesne not here. Damn, you can't even go Duchesne Granlund here. That sucks. Okay, FanDuel, once again, great freaking job. But, yeah, the profitable side is the Nashville side. Definitely look out for news just in case. Oh, and also, I'm just looking for news for people. You can also use these last games for people who just need to knock a little bit of rust off. You know who might come back, who hasn't been in a while, and you haven't heard his name in a long time. He's coming off surgery, and they're looking to see if he can at least skate and give even some more depth, which is what Dallas has plenty of. Tyler Seguin might play tonight, so you never know where he might pop up. I think that news will pop up too late for him to be on the market, but, you know, just something to look forward to. Solid middle 6 player for Dallas for years now. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I see a lot of onslaught opportunities. Hopefully you get to this video as fast as possible and jump on these bets. Thank you for tuning in one more time. Let's have another solid night. Well, not like last night, but the night before, where we have a solid night throughout the entire slate. But not really interested in any of the late games. So basically, soon as 7 o'clock hit, glued to the TV. And then what? The Red Wings and Devils, they're in Jersey for 7:30. And then right after that, 8 o'clock. So we'll be sweating out games at least up to 10:30 and watching those games right on top of each other. Good luck tonight. One more day of regular season hockey. Like I said, I understand the pains in the ass of teams sitting out. Some of these teams here are done for the season, while there might be a couple on a back-to-back for tomorrow before the playoffs start, while some of these teams are also some of the teams that played from the night before. For instance, Detroit still has one more game at Toronto. Detroit might look really good tomorrow because Toronto's probably going to be sitting people. I think Toronto, depending on what's going on, might still be fighting for the division, if I'm not mistaken. I'll have to look that up. A fun no contest. That doesn't mean anything at all because it's just two bad teams. Philly and Buffalo. Carolina and Ottawa. Ottawa probably looks really good on the onslaught, but the odds probably won't be that good because if they sat people today, most likely they're going to sit people tomorrow, or they might bring back a few people because it's a back-to-back. I mean, to play back-to-back right before the playoffs is pretty rough when you want everybody healthy. Tampa Bay, like I said, if Tampa Bay and Toronto is still fighting for division, that will still be interesting. But if Tampa Bay and Toronto sit people, Detroit and the Rangers look a lot better. What else here? There could be some possible craziness with the Islanders and Columbus at 7 o'clock. That's also something interesting to look at and pay attention to. And maybe taking that Calgary 2 line might be profitable tomorrow. Last game tomorrow is at 9:30. A ton of games. Basically, every game is at 7. And it's Calgary at LA. LA's already set in their spot. They might sit more people again. Or they might bring some people back. Calgary, the season's over because Minnesota and St. Louis clinched last night. They were all three of them were fighting for 2 spots. Only 2 makes it. So maybe the backlink Colby Coronado line looks pretty good again. And that's pretty much it. So not only did we do bets today, I gave you a little preview of what it is like tomorrow. Because besides playoff spots of Montreal most likely clinching tonight since Carolina's sitting everybody, I think all that's pretty much left is, does Toronto or no? Okay, so they won last night. So okay, so they won't be playing for nothing. Toronto just clinched the division, so Toronto might be sitting people. And like I said, that also means Tampa Bay will be sitting people, more than likely. Because they are way ahead of the Panthers in points. Even if Florida had an extra game, Florida couldn't really catch up to Tampa Bay. So, okay. So, there's your preview for tomorrow. So, more than likely, Detroit's an onslaught pick. Buffalo and Philly seems to be the best game to be picking both sides of odds of stacks. Rangers might run over Tampa Bay. And so, basically, probably the best 2 games to probably pick tomorrow would be Islanders at Columbus and Philly at Buffalo. That's pretty much it. Okay, so mini preview for tomorrow's slate. Now I'm done. Thank you for tuning in once again. This is your boy, Grade A Fantasy. Good luck tonight. Another great plus night. Let's go. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's keep the hot streak going. This is your boy, Grade A Fantasy. Signing off.